Welcome back everyone to another edition of Figures from the Attic. Today we're back with day 2 of the San Diego Comic-Con figure reveals. Let's just dive right in. Again, going to use WrestlingFiguresDatabase.com as a source, as a guide. But some interesting stuff revealed on day 2. I would say better than day 1. Day 1 had a lot of misses, a lot of really bad head scans, but day 2 really caught my eye. Let's start with this Big Boss Man. I do need a Big Boss Man. It would go really great in my kind of Legends, New Era, early to mid 90s shelf, and I think this is a good fit. Interested to see what it looks like without that jacket, but we'll find out soon enough. We are getting a AAA ring right there with the green, white, and red ropes. It's pretty interesting. That partnership is definitely coming through big time on these day 2 reveals. Just stay tuned. You're going to see a lot of AAA figures, which I'm really excited for. Some of these don't even have mock-ups yet, but it looks like we're getting a Greatest Hits Series 14 with The Rock, Hogan, Cena, and Bronson Reed. So we'll see what those look like eventually. We are getting the Earthquake and Typhoon, the natural disasters. So that should be good. That's another one I can add to my early to mid 90s shelf. So that I'm excited for that one. We're getting here Mattel Kalian, WWE AAA Rey Mysterio. These look like kind of those retro style figures. We're getting Penta, Rey Mysterio, and Mr. Iguana. I'm excited to see what those look like once they're painted up and in full display. But this is what I was talking about before. La Parka. I want to shout out La Parka, probably my favorite luchador of all time. And this just captures him absolutely perfectly. You get 2 heads. They look kind of similar. One has the hair out on the sides. One has it, I guess, tucked in. And then on the figure itself, it does have it out. What's the difference between this head scan and the one down here? Looks like maybe this one. Looks like maybe the paint. Yeah, the paint's a little bit different. So this one, you get kind of a red, more pronounced red on the forehead. And you get more of a closed mouth. This one down here, it looks like you get less prominent red on the forehead and more of an open, maybe stitched mouth. But just love the skeleton look. This is a day 1 purchase for me. It's going to be a pre-order for sure. I need that in my collection. Also getting Psycho Clown, which another one that looks absolutely phenomenal. You do get Psycho Clown with his regular traditional mask with WWE logos. That's a bit of a bummer. But you do get the reveal mask where he's known for doing this. Like towards the end of the match where he powers up, he kind of rips off the face of his mask and it reveals this like really gnarly, almost like Freddy Krueger, like burned, bloody, muscly mask or face underneath. So that's an awesome addition. I'm surprised they included that because it's pretty gruesome. Also Mattel Creations, they come out periodically, is going to be Mr. Iguana. I'm sure that's going to be a hot seller because he did gain popularity very quickly with this merger. And the packaging right off the bat kind of reminds me of the old school, like one of the original AEW Jazzwares 2 sets with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, the Jurassic Express. Kind of reminds me of that with kind of like the scales going on. But the accessories on this one, let me go back to it. The accessories on this one are awesome. Of course, you get the 3 heads, the rounded glasses, the jacket, you get the iguana, I guess 2 iguanas, one that's kind of outstretched and then one that's more perched to sit on his shoulder. So they went all out with that one. We're getting Vikingo, or Hijo del Vikingo, another one that looks really, really cool. That mask and all the accessories for sure are going to stand out. And this one also I'm very excited for, Dr. Wagner Jr. Back in the day, I lived down here in South Florida, so we do get like the Spanish language Telemundo channel. So I used to watch old school AAA all the time when I was younger. I don't think we get that anymore, but you can watch it on YouTube, the WWE version of it anyway. But Dr. Wagner was one of my favorites, and they captured him very well here. That's another day 1 purchase for me. Very excited to have that in my collection. We get a Dominic Mysterio in like luchador getup. We get an old school Rey Mysterio with the pink mask and the pink getup. That's another really, really cool one. Look at that right there. Very old school Rey Mysterio in his infancy. Here's another mock-up of Mr. Iguana. We get El Gran Americano, of course. Here's Pagano, another legendary luchador in AAA. Kind of the same vibe as Psycho Clown, with kind of like the clown face paint. Not mask, but he wears face paint. A lot of tattoos, and that's another really nice one with the kendo stick. Psychosis. Speaking of some of my favorite luchadors, Psychosis is up there as well, just going back to his WCW days. But yeah, this is like an early Psychosis, kind of reminds me of course, early days of AAA, which I wasn't watching when he was in AAA back in the day, like in the 90s. But this also reminds me of ECW. He had a lot of legendary matches in ECW, and that's kind of what he would wear. Love that mask. We're getting a new China with that bazooka, so that's an interesting callback. And it looks like you're getting 2 heads. That must be Ultimate Edition. Yeah, Ultimate Edition Monday Night War China. It says exclusive. Who's going to be the exclusive carrier for it? It's going to be exclusive to Walmart and Smith's Toys. There you go. And then paired up with China, of course, you get Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero, and he's holding the roses. So those two are a callback to their legendary partnership, relationship, whatever you want to call it, back in the 90s. Very similar to Dom and Liv. We're getting a new Davey Boy Smith. This one looks very similar to the Davey Boy Smith that I have in my display, just with a different head scan. He's got his mouth open. Mine has more of just like a smile. So I probably won't go out of my way to get that, but it looks nice. Another Mr. Perfect with the Intercontinental Championship and a ripped open or torn apart WWF Winged Eagle Championship. You get a football as well, of course the towel. So really, really nice accessories on this one. That's another Ultimate Edition. We're getting more of the horror crossover figures. Specifically Kevin Owens as Zombie Ed. I'm not really sure who that is. If you guys know, let me know. I've never heard of Zombie Ed. We're getting Jacob Fatu as the Wolfman. Here you see him as the Wolfman. That does track because he is wild, and that does make sense. But I'm a little disappointed that they didn't make CM Punk the Wolfman. Instead, they made him Dracula, and they made Larry there a bat. The reason I say that I think he should have been Wolfman is because if you watch the latest WWE Unreal, he did mention how Larry got his name from the Wolfman movie, the Universal Monsters Wolfman movie, because he thought he looked exactly like Wolfman. So it would have been a nice touch to make CM Punk the Wolfman, with maybe little Larry as a mini Wolfman off to the side, but this is still a good choice. I probably won't go out of my way to get these. I'm not really into the Universal horror movies. I know a lot of people are. I'm sure it'll be very successful, but just not my thing. I do like this Liv Morgan with Chucky. I think that's phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of Chucky. Huge fan of the Chucky movies, Child's Play. And Liv Morgan with like the multicolored wristbands and socks. It goes perfectly with that little Chucky doll, so that's awesome. I'll purchase that for sure. We're getting one that's sure to be a super popular figure with Danhausen, of course. You just knew it was only a matter of time before he got his first figure in WWE. I'm sure that's going to be a very hot seller. You get all his tattoos, of course. The head, I think they could have done better with the head. I feel like he's much more... Oh, here we go. Okay, so they do give you other heads, of course. Yeah, I would probably go with this one. That, to me, kind of screams Danhausen, but this one as well. But yeah, very excited for that. I guess that's the source picture with the cape. I wonder if they also include the cape. I don't see it listed. I'm assuming they include the cape because they have it there in that image. And you get a jar of teeth as well. Classic. You get the first, or maybe not the first, but you do get a Trick Williams. It looks like a Defining Moments, Ultimate Moments, Trick Williams. So it used to be Defining Moments, and now they're calling it Ultimate Moments, I guess. Is this a new line? I guess they're transitioning, or they're making the Defining Moments, which were elite figures, into Ultimate. They're calling it Ultimate Moments. I wonder if that's new. You guys got to tell me. I'm not 100% sure if that's something new. You get Dennis Rodman, recently inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, full in his NWO getup. I might get that because I do have a WCW shelf that I'm slowly but surely building up, so that could go well, especially with that fuzzy hat that you see there. We're getting Hornswoggle. Nice to see Hornswoggle getting a payday, a residual check. Good for him. And one of his best friends, Matt Cardona. We're getting him right there with, I think that was what he wore WrestleMania 32 when he won the Intercontinental Championship in that ladder match. So that, yeah, Defining Moments. So it must be that WrestleMania 32, Dallas, Texas. Another John Cena from The Last Time Is Now. They are really milking that last run from John Cena. Let's see, this one he's in green. I'm assuming it was in Boston. But I feel like they've released a figure for every different t-shirt that he wore during that run. We get some more Street Fighter crossover figures. Here's Jey Uso as Dalsim. We get Tatanka as T-Hawk, which is very appropriate. We get Stephanie Vaquer as Chun-Li, and this one is awesome, especially awesome. We get Brock Lesnar as Zangief, or Zangief, however you pronounce that. But yeah, very, very cool. I do collect these Street Fighter action figures, so those will go really well on my shelf. Let's see, moving on. There's a few more, not too many. We get another Danhausen, this time where he was cosplaying with the bald cap as Steve Austin. So that's an interesting callback, like a very specific moment in time that they're releasing a figure of. They just know they have like a bottomless pit as far as money goes with these Danhausen figures. Another John Cena, of course. Another Cody Rhodes, nothing we haven't seen before. We do get a Jackie, who's a Build-A-Figure for the Monday Night Wars line. That's interesting. Jackie is an underappreciated character from that era. An underappreciated wrestler in general. She was fantastic. We get a K-Quick. Look at that. That's a callback. This is when R-Truth first debuted in WWE, even before going to TNA and having his run in TNA. He was K-Quick, and he was in a tag team with Road Dogg. So that's a nice callback. We get Stone Cold as the nurse from that classic scene in the hospital with Vince McMahon, where he's kind of hammering him and hitting him with the bedpan. Oh, there we go, right there. Legendary. So they've announced a Steve Austin cameraman and a Steve Austin nurse. So like a bunch of different occupations for Steve Austin this go around. We get the Nasty Boys, Jerry Saggs and Brian Knobbs. I do have a tag team shelf, so I'm excited for this one. I was never really a fan of these guys. I thought they were kind of overhyped, overrated. They had a couple of good matches, but just to me, I mean, maybe I didn't like them because they were heels. So they probably, I guess they did their job now that I think of it. But I do want those figures. I don't have any Nasty Boys in my collection, even dating back to like my younger days. I don't have any Nasty Boys at all. So that'll be the first Nasty Boys that I ever have. Let's see. We get a Build-A-Figure Buddy Roberts from the Freebirds. And we get more Freebirds here. Jimmy Garvin. And of course, I'm assuming Michael Hayes. I'm assuming he's there. But one I'm very excited for. Victoria looks great. But especially excited for this Abyss. Abyss had a phenomenal figure with TNA when it was Marvel Toys, I believe. Toy Biz. They had the license. But this is going to be his first Mattel figure, his first figure in WWE. It's funny how he's in the WWE video game, and now he's getting a WWE action figure, but he never wrestled a match in WWE. So that's pretty funny to me, but well-deserved. He is a backstage producer, so it makes sense that he's getting some figures, and this one looks phenomenal. That's another day one purchase for me. Another Hulk Hogan, kind of been there, done that. There we go. We're getting Lash Legend, and Nia Jax, of course, the former Women's Tag Team Championships with the WrestleMania gear. There you see kind of like the Demolition style entrance gear on both, but in white instead of black, so that's pretty neat. We're getting an Obafemi. I don't have an Obafemi, and as far as I know, the ones that are out now are all from kind of his NXT days, so I do want a main roster Obafemi. This will probably be the first one that I purchase, so looking forward to that. There you see more mock-ups of the three that I just mentioned. We're getting another Danhausen. This is the third Danhausen figure in this reveal. And he comes with his wife. I guess that's a callback to when they all came out together, all the Ghoulhausens. It was him in the middle, and then all the Ghoulhausens were dancing behind him. So that's a fun throwback. Let's see. Yeah, that looks interesting. Let's see his wife. There she is, just dressed up as Danhausen. I'm sure that's a special moment for them. Probably going to have that displayed in their house. I would. That's awesome. You get the Vision there with Austin Theory and Logan Paul. You get some of the LJN big guys, Roman Reigns, British Bulldog. You get Kit Wilson. You get an LA Knight in street clothes with his Timberland boots. That's a nice one. That's kind of like classic with what he wears when he's not wrestling. So that's a nice one. Same for Maxime Dupree with the Intercontinental Championship. I like the green gear on that one. We get another CM Punk. It looks like this is the red gear. I believe he wore that in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. And he comes with an AJ Lee. I think that's going to be... Is it going to be a 3-set? This is, by the way, the fourth Danhausen figure. 4 Danhausen figure reveals in this day 2 of San Diego Comic-Con. That's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I believe CM Punk wore that red gear in Chicago. Maybe he had the match with Finn Balor, if I'm not mistaken. But the AJ Lee looks great as well. I do like the gear on this Danhausen with the teeth. Kind of reminds me of Shawn Michaels, but instead of hearts, it's little evil teeth. So that's fun. We get a street clothes, CM Punk in his hoodie. We get another Lash Legend, so that's 2 Lash Legends in this reveal for her. Good for her. We get Zarya from NXT. A couple more big rubber guys. And the last one, I believe, that I haven't covered yet is this Akuma. I kind of complained yesterday that they made Xavier Woods Akuma in the crossover when Roman Reigns portrayed him in the movie, in the live-action movie. But it looks like Roman Reigns is getting his own Akuma figure, but it's being released by Capcom, which is the company that makes Street Fighter. So Hasbro, yeah. Capcom makes Street Fighter, Hasbro's a toy company. I guess they came together. So this is technically not Mattel, but it is a Roman Reigns figure, so that's interesting. Will I be getting this? I kind of want to stick to the line that I already have. So I might. I mean, the articulation looks pretty cool. I'll probably end up getting this at some point. Looks really nice. But I think that does it for day 2. Let me know what you think. I appreciate you guys watching and following along. And as always, stay tuned for more.